Our first review of the day is going to be for the film Super Mario Galaxy Movie. This is the sequel to the first Super Mario movie there that did amazingly well. I think it made, what, $1 billion, didn't it?
It made over $1 billion, so a sequel was inevitable.
A sequel was inevitable, made a lot of money here. Big smash success there for a lot of people there for Illumination and this is an adaptation of the very popular video game based on the Mario character here. And in this sequel, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, we got a lot of additions to the film here. We got a lot of new characters, sometimes to its detriment, which I'm going to get into here. But one of the new characters you have is Rosalina, who is voiced by Brie Larson in this there. She is another princess there who's been kidnapped. The princess is getting kidnapped. There's a common theme going on here in these two movies. This time, she's not kidnapped by Bowser, but she's kidnapped by Bowser Jr., who is another new character here. It's voiced by Benny Safdie there. Benny Safdie, good time. He's going to be in the Odyssey. He's going to be in... he was also in that movie Oppenheimer there. Kids love Oppenheimer. So they'll definitely recognize his voice for Bowser Jr. So yes, he kidnapped the Princess Rosalina there because they want to harness her power and turn it into like basically it's like the Death Star. They want to turn her power and channel into like the Death Star and then blow up other planets and control the whole galaxy. Basically, I got what I was kind of getting out of it. And they even plot wise, it's a lot like Star Wars, and then it's another situation where Luigi and Mario and Luigi, who are voiced by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, along with Princess Peach, who's voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy, to team up there, along with some other characters to save Princess Rosalina there and save the galaxy, all that good stuff there. So that's what that's the semblance of a little bit of plot that we get here in the mix of all these cameos, all these Easter eggs, them trying to set up sequels and spinoffs and possibly a future Smash Brothers movie there that they're going to do and all that stuff there. Chris, what are your thoughts on Super Mario Galaxy movie here?
So for me, these movies don't have to be great. They don't have to be incredible or amazing. All they have to do is celebrate Mario and the games. And that's exactly what they do. And they do it beautifully because Illumination, as a animation studio, they really do make quality films. Like these movies look really good, whether it's Despicable Me, Minions, Secret Life of Pets, any other movie or IP that they've taken on. The movies look great. Like the animation style at Illumination is just has that soft, lush look to it, and they bring that to the world of Mario. So the power-ups, the bullet bills, the shells, the coins, everything, it looks so beautiful and vibrant. And I think this was a smart move as a sequel. Galaxy, expanding on the world, introducing more characters. I think it succeeds in that way as a sequel, going bigger in scale and being a greater spectacle. Sure, the first movie might have more story than this one, but again, that's not why I'm watching these movies in particular. I'm just watching it to feel like a kid again. And these movies make me feel like a kid again. So, there were some critics who I do admire and I do respect, and they had some criticisms. I was just like, give me a break, man. Like, come on. Plot points not being seen all the way through, characters showing up and disappearing and not knowing where they went, and when they come back, like, where were they? Just a lot of that. The movie's an hour and a half, hour 45. It's
about that.
Yeah. There's comparisons to Sonic about, how come Sonic in 3 movies has an arc and and the characters are fleshed out. You could argue that it's different. You could argue that, again, it's not that kind of movie. It could be if it wanted to be, but that's not what it is. It's just celebrating the IP. And I like that Sonic, has an arc from beginning, middle, and end, like in the first 3 movies. But it's, for me, it's different. I don't have that attachment with Sonic the way I have that attachment with Mario, and I just love everything I've seen with these movies.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And with the first Mario movie, I thought it was, and hey, how's it going there? Sage from Radiant from Maturity. How's it going there, man? I thought the first movie was just okay. I wasn't really that super into it. I thought, oh, okay, it's kind of fine. I mean, the animation looks really good. And I think the animation with the sequel looks also just as good there. Well, and I think it's good kid slop. It's something that kids can plop down in front of, and it's bright and it's colorful and
It's
it's got action.
funny, entertaining.
Yeah, it's got action in it. It's fast paced. It's only an hour and 30 something minutes, like Chris said. So it goes by so fast, like do 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 do, and this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and they go here, and then go to all these other different worlds. And there's some interesting worlds that they go to. Like they go to, like I mentioned, Star Wars. They have their own like Cantabite from Last Jedi, or Cantina from the first Star Wars movie. They have that sequence in there where they go there, and that's a cool type of sequence. I thought. And then there's a character that shows up, which this is not a spoiler to say because the character's already been out there and marketed. So they're marketing it with the movie, something that would have, I don't know, it should have been more of a surprise when you go see it. But you have Fox McCloud, who's in this, who's from Star Fox there, who's voiced by Glenn Powell in this. And his introduction is cool. And he's got like a cool, like different animation sequence when he tells his backstory. And he's got some good like action moments in here. He's supposed to be kind of more of the Han Solo type of, here it seems like with that, even though they don't really push that to its full potential there, I think, with that character, because you think that, I mean, when you mention that this movie, I mean, people comparing it to maybe the Sonic movies and how like the Sonic movies have a little bit more of an arc. Yeah, I mean, there really isn't much of a change. It seems like an arc that the character Mario and Luigi go through in this movie. They really just doesn't seem like they got really much going on. It just seems like the only thing really is like Mario, he's got a crush on Peach, and he's trying to tell her he's got a crush on her and he's got feelings for her. And you think that maybe they're gonna do a thing where Mario and Fox McCloud are gonna like compete over her attention and everything like that, but that doesn't really happen. Did you kind of maybe want that to happen? Did you want there to be something more like that in it? Did that suffice for you? Just having Mario, just like the only thing he's got really going for him, it seems like, just to like, oh, I want to tell Peach I like her, or what?
Yeah, that felt like a natural progression for the character, because that was hinted towards a little bit in the first one, and now as a sequel, does in the next one he'll tell her, and I like that worked for me. And that's my genuine question, like what else do people want to see from this character? Like his arc is in the first movie when he rises to the challenge of all these obstacles and power ups and learning the ways of how to do it and just proving why he is Super Mario. And in the second one, he's established. He's here now. He's the hero of Mushroom Kingdom. Whenever anyone has a problem, they turn to him and Luigi. Yeah, I'm not sure what else people wanted from him. I was interested in Bowser turning a new leaf, and then being corrupted by his son again. Usually it's the other way around. It's the parent influencing their child who has good in their heart and innocence in their heart to, join the family business and go down the dark side. And in this one, it was the opposite. Bowser is the one who kind of uh, becomes an ally a little bit, and then ends up back where he started from once he's united with his son. So that was interesting, but yeah, beyond that, no, that doesn't really bother me.
Hmm. And I'm not a big Mario guy. I don't know all about the lore of Mario or anything like that. So I mean, even though this movie, I mean, people have been saying it's basically critic proof. It doesn't matter what we say, any critic says about it. I mean, this is gonna still make a lot of money. It's making a lot of money right now. I think it's crossed already over 100 million already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already doing super well in the box office. So it's probably going to make another billion, is what I'm guessing. It's probably going to end up there. And from my understanding, a lot of the Mario movies, they don't really have that deep of plot or story or anything like that. It's just save the princess. A lot of it is just,
That's it.
and then just experience the world and all the cool stuff in the world. And just other than that, is just save the princess. And
That's it.
and this does have like two post-credit stingers in it, or one kind of mid-credits, or
There's two post credit scenes.
okay, one where they introduce someone else, which is another big character that seems like they're gonna have to do some other saving with that person there. With that, I won't spoil what that is. So and I'm not gonna say that. Oh well, what did you expect? It's a Mario movie, and it's not supposed to be that deep or whatever. And like I said, they don't have really much of a story, but I still think you still could have put some more effort into it. And you know what I mean? Just because it's a kids movie doesn't mean you have to try. Because there's a lot of great kids movies. You know what I mean? And a great kids movie that's out right now, which I really loved a lot, which was that Pixar movie, Hoppers.
Mm.
And I greatly enjoyed Hoppers. And Hoppers is really emotional and it's funny and it's got a really well told story in it there with that. And so I liked it quite a bit there. And it's one of on my list of one of my favorite movies of the year so far. That
Nice.
much. So I really greatly enjoyed it. How did you feel about it? I saw you do a reaction for it. How did you feel about Hoppers?
I loved Hoppers. The first, I loved the era of Disney, tapping on directors to tell personal stories. Like people don't like Elemental and Turning Red. Apparently, I love those movies. They're a couple of my favorite Pixar films ever. And but so for me, Pixar never hit like a low point. They've been consistent. Besides Luca and the Good Dinosaur, but with Hoppers, everyone's saying, "Oh, Pixar is back. This is back to form. This is the Pixar we know and love." And in classic Pixar form, very similar to Up, the like right off Up, Finding Nemo, just right off the bat, pulling at your heartstrings. This relationship between this granddaughter and this grandmother, and this grandmother kind of resembling my grandmother, who was Chinese Jamaican. So to see that warmth between them and see that bond they had, my nana and I would watch TV all the time. Mostly, she would indulge me in my love for Star Wars, so we'd watch Star Wars together all the time. That was kind of our rock at the pond kind of thing.
Mhm.
So that relationship really stuck out to me, and also the theme of why am I or the question, why am I the only person who cares about this? Why don't more people care about this? I'm like, that is such a real question that I ask myself every single day with the state of the world. Like, there's more of us than there are billionaires. If we could, stop being selfish and step outside of ourselves and, unite, organize, form up, and, revolution. You know what I'm saying? These are things I think about, and that Hoppers just made me think about all that stuff. But they did it in a, it's like hiding vegetables in your kid's favorite food, so they eat it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I love Hoppers.
Yeah. So, I wish I'm not asking for something like that with Mario, but at least I feel like some more care and attention other than I think this movie, the sequel kind of does the thing that a lot of superhero sequels do sometimes, like Iron Man 2 or maybe Spider-Man 3, you know what I mean? Or Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they try to jam in all these cameos, all these Easter eggs, all this stuff of like, okay, because we got to set up all these other movies. Like
Mhm.
clearly they want to do, maybe like a Fox McCloud spinoff thing and they all that kind of stuff there. And obviously they're building towards Smash Brothers, which is probably going to be the big main event of this series here. And I think it kind of takes away from the story that they're telling now
Mhm.
by, with this movie here. And, being so fast paced and everything going 20 miles a minute there, it's kind of hard to really just soak in anything really with that and really appreciate anything. I think too much with that. Sage from Radiant Futurity said, I had someone try playing a Mario game for the first time after enjoying the first movie, and they kept asking when the plot was going to kick in. Yeah, so it's not really a game that's all that plot focused. It's just
No,
kind of yeah.
it's like a puzzle game. It's like you're trying to get through the map, and it takes timing and strategy and practice. Some of them are tricky, and some of them will make you frustrated and make you want to throw the controller because you get so close to the end and then you die. It's kind of like a puzzle game. It's a adventure kind of thing.
Yeah. And it seems like with the third movie, since they called this one Super Mario Galaxy, seems like they would call maybe the third one Odyssey, which is the one of the latest big games. Now this game came out it's almost been 10 years ago this game came out, but this was like a big game for the when the Switch first came out there.
Yeah.
Which and it got great reviews, rave reviews. People love this game a lot. So that's probably one of my guesses and people guessing what the next movie will be called will kind of be based on this with that Super Mario Odyssey there with that. But there's even a sequence like that in the movie where they go back to like the retro Mario, like the very kind of
I
first
love it. I love it.
uh
That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I want.
which was that was also a cool moment in the movie as well there for that. And the newer characters, how did you like did you like any of the newer characters coming in here? People like Bowser Jr., Rosalina,
Yeah,
Yoshi.
yeah. Again, although I didn't play Galaxy, I did notice when once Rosalina was available to play on like Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8. I love Rosalina, especially played by Brie Larson, who is just a massive fan and is doing wonders for the marketing of this movie. Um, all the bros who are like mad at her for being outspoken about diversity in Hollywood are now saying like, oh, she's all right because she's being vocal about her love for video games and how Hollywood should borrow more from video games the way video games borrow from Hollywood. Um, and yeah, I guess from if I had a criticism, I wanted more Rosalina. She is a character who shows up in the beginning, and then they periodically go back to her, but I did miss her presence for sure. I love Donald Glover's Yoshi. Again, he like campaigned for this, like he wanted to do this, and he did a really good job with the voice. You can hear it's him, which is cool, but it's also a great Yoshi voice. So if you're gonna ask for the role, do a good job, and he did a great job. Um, Glenn Powell as Fox is really cool. I loved Star Fox Assault on the GameCube. Me and my old like childhood friend Charlie would play it all the time. That was a really fun one. Um, who else? There's Yoshi. There's
Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr., who I believe is the main villain in Super Mario Sunshine again for the GameCube, and that's I think that's the game that introduces the paintbrush, if I'm not mistaken. And I love that game so much. It's also the game where you get the water jetpack thing, and like different nozzles do different things. It's a really fun, beautiful, bright game. And there's a character. Oh, there's also in the third act, there's some other characters that show up that definitely hint towards a Smash Bros. Movie. I'm not going to say who it is, but there's another character in the third act, um, and there's I love this game. Yeah, this is my childhood for sure on the GameCube. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so I love the new characters. I think it helps expand and make the world feel even bigger. These Mario games are all about adding new characters into the fray and joining the adventure. And um, they could, if they wanted to. I don't know how, but they could do like a Mario Party movie if they wanted to. But they could,
Mm.
you know, those games can last a while.
Yeah. They do
Yeah,
Mario Golf. They do
Ma-
tennis.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. They could do that if
Yeah.
they. You never know. You never know.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, kids, if they like it, I mean, that's fine. And I'm not trying to ruin their fun and people's enjoyment of it if they had a good time watching it. And like you said, people who are fans of this stuff and they do like that much there. And Sage said, yeah, Brie Larson is awesome. Yeah, I like Brie Larson. I think a lot of the new voices, I think they're very good. Also, that's also one of my positives of the movie, along with the animation. Like Brie Larson, I think does a good voice as Rosalina there. Donald Glover to me was unrecognizable as Yoshi. I mean, he's mostly just saying Yoshi and making little squeaky noises and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Um, but I thought he was very good there. I like also Yoshi's sequence when he was like they were showing like him in New York and they were playing Hypnotize and they were playing like the instrumental of it and he's just kind of just going around New York. I thought that was kind of a little funny there
Yeah.
kind of moment there. I thought that would work. So a lot of the voice work is pretty good here. I think for the most part, people you wouldn't think would be that great, like Benny Safdie's Bowser Jr. I think does a pretty good job there. I think he does a pretty
Yeah.
effective job at doing the voice. So I think that kind of works pretty well. Yeah, so that's kind of where my positives kind of end with it. And like I said, all the criticisms I think kind of outweigh the kind of the positives I feel about the movie. Like I said, it's kind of just rushed, kind of sloppy, too many characters in here, too rushed. There really isn't much of an arc for anybody kind of going on here, except for Bowser. I think Bowser's got something kind of going on, and he's the only one that's really got something happening for him. But other than that, I think that's really about it there. So for me, I would just kind of give the movie a lowish stream it, maybe. What about you? Final thoughts rating?
Yeah. So again, for me, as a aging millennial, these movies just it's good. It's good. It's a fun time. It's a celebration of a character, a world, uh, and a time in my life where things were simpler, and it always the first one did it. This one did it. It just takes me back to a simpler time, and the animation is so beautiful, and the action is fun. It's entertaining. It's funny. I like the first one. I don't know. This one might have a bit more replay value, depending. But yeah, I think child slop is a good way to is a good way to phrase it. Um, yeah, I would also. What do you have above stream it?
We have a tune in.
Stream it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Never doubt a family movie. If you have kids, yeah, this is the movie to take them to. But yeah, never doubt, never count out a family movie. It's if there's a movie in theaters for kids and families, people are going to see it in droves because they want to take their kids out somewhere and have them be quiet for like an hour and a half. Uh, yeah, it still might make $1 billion, but even if it doesn't, that's fine too. Yeah, definitely stream it. If once it drops, it's good background noise. It'll keep the kids entertained.
Yeah, I know you said you put on the first Mario movie when kids it's like a free day. You put on that. So when this movie comes out, you're gonna put this on. It's gonna be the new free day movie.
Uh,
Um,
it's in the class I work in. It's a democracy. It's a true democracy. So they can vote on the movie they want to watch, and if that's the one they want to watch, then.
okay. They just happen to vote for Mario a lot. That's what they.
The
Okay.
first one was because of Peaches. The song was viral on TikTok and made them laugh. So yeah, like they watched the movie just for that one part, and then
That's all they care about.
yeah, and then after that part passes, they start talking to each other, but they're quiet the entire time until Peaches, Peach. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
kids,
that's
kids.
also another thing. No song, huh? No song for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Jack Black. Where's the humor? I thought you were gonna do another little ditty.
yeah. No Rosalina. No,
You
nothing
know,
like that.
Rosie. Rosie was right there. Something.
Yeah. Rating should say, would the rating be higher if you took magic mushrooms before watching? Maybe that would work there. Maybe that would enhance my experience there with that. But two streamings for Super Mario Galaxy movie there. Definitely gonna get another one of these for sure there with this. So
Yeah,
watch out for that.
yeah. So far, Hoppers is still the best animated film of the year.
I'd agree. Hoppers is.